How do you do? Uh, I want to talk about, um, the fact that I think mental illness is just a social construct. I genuinely do. I feel that pretty much everyone would have some kind of mental illness if they all got their heads checked. I genuinely do think that. Um, I, uh, I think that, like, the neurodivergent philosophy, the philosophy of neurodivergence, um, that is what kind of inspired this idea I have, where, like, it's acknowledged that, like, pretty much everyone could be neurodivergent at least. I mean, you couldn't draw a line between, like, a neurotypical person and a neurodivergent person. Like, I just genuinely don't think that kind of distinction could be made. I feel like everyone pretty much could fall under some kind of spectrum of neurodiversity. So therefore, I feel that mental illness itself is just kind of a construct. Personally, like, I've had some very unique experiences with my mental health, like, you know, stuff that was like only having mild psychotic symptoms and stuff. Like, you think of psychosis and psychotic disorders as being one of the bigger major things, and yet for me it was mild. So I feel that goes to show how strange and complicated the human mind really is. Also, I want to talk about the Small Faces. Justice for the Small Faces, that grand, extreme, amazing, incredible band, that magical, magical band. Oh man. The Small Faces of the 1960s, not to be confused with The Faces, which, boring, and all the other spin offs of the Small Faces and such. I just want to draw attention to the fact that they rock, and they're far out, and they're amazing, and people should appreciate the Small Faces, because they're awesome, and uh, I'm spacing out. Um, the album they made with Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. One of the best albums ever, man. It's one of the best psychedelic albums you could ever imagine. It is some fancy stuff. It's so enchanted. It's so lovely. It makes me feel happy and whimsical. And if you're into happiness and whimsy, then you gotta listen to it, or else I'll eat your face. I'll eat your face. Do you want your face eaten? Be honest. Be honest. I'm just kidding. I won't actually eat your face. Or will I? Um. I eated you. Um. My hair doesn't look as good when it's not really styled now. Like, it's a good cut, but there's less room for error, I've noticed. Like, if it's not out, then it's just not that good. It's not as impactful as it once was. I still really like the haircut, but it's just different. It's not as, like, kind of stuff, Unless I really do a lot of hairspray and really backcomb it, like if I really make an effort, you know what I mean? I have to try harder now. Boo-hoo, man. I ain't no try hard. But, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do in this day and age. Throw. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. I just love the Small Faces. Steve Marriott, what a guy. He is the cutest boy I've ever seen. And, like, yep, he's the best. He's awesome. He's adorable and he's wonderful. They're all like little munchkins. That's not fair to say. They're just a bit short. But anyway, they're wonderful guys. And yeah, they seem like really well-rounded individuals. One thing that often blows my mind is the level of, like, humility that Steve Marriott always had. I mean, he's not a perfect guy. I've heard some stories about him having kind of drunken rages and stuff like that. He abused drugs and he could be a bit of a chaotic character and stuff like that. Which is a part of his legend, it's a part of his charm, but it's also a problem, obviously. Anyway, even so, he was never arrogant, and most of the small faces were never arrogant, you know? They were all really polite. It's because of that working class, character they have. Like, they're extremely working class. It's baked into their branding and everything. And, like, it makes them really cool because it's genuine. They're just really genuine, down-to-earth people, even though they're, like, incredible musicians. And Steve Marriott, especially, like, just brilliant dude. I really look up to him and respect him. And, yeah, Stephen Peter Marriott, he was out of this world, man. He almost seemed like he was from another dimension or something. He was so cool. And he wasn't even super duper, like, hippie in a way, like, but he was, though. Like, he got it, even though he wasn't fully into that, you know? So, yeah, I just love the hell out of them, and I think they're the best. They're not my favorite band. Pink Floyd's my favorite band, but, like, I really see myself in the Small Faces, you know? I look up to Steve and Ronnie a bit too, because he was like the second cutest. I'm just being honest. So yeah, I love them, and they're the best. They're not the best with a capital B, but they're awesome. Farewell.